Because all three of these mistakes can cost you your entire business. And I've seen people get divorced over starting these businesses and then failing, or they were leaving their families in debt, and I've heard of others being so tainted and scarred that they never started another venture again. In the United States right now, there are 76 million baby boomers. The number one dilemma for these baby boomers? Housing. That dilemma can be your opportunity. Welcome to the Assisted Living Network podcast, where you can discover how just one residential assisted living home could secure your financial future forever. Hey, it's Isabelle from the Assisted Living Network, and I bet you're wondering what are some major mistakes you can avoid when opening your first residential assisted living home. So let's go through the top 3 mistakes I see every single day. Really, it comes down to these things. You're doing the wrong location, you're not doing your research, and you're thinking you can DIY this. So let's dive in. Because all 3 of these mistakes can cost you your entire business. And I've seen people get divorced over starting these businesses and then failing. I've heard of others ending their life because their business failed, or they were leaving their families in debt, and I've heard of others being so tainted and scarred that they never started another venture again. And I hope none of these scenarios ever happen to you, but I also don't want you to be a fool and not be prepared for these big mistakes. So I want you to avoid them. Now that you know those top mistakes, let's learn how to avoid them, because that's the key. It's one thing to know, it's another thing to really soak it in, be mindful, and not make that mistake. The first one, location. If you have the wrong location, this is just not going to work. You will fail in this business because demographics tell a story. You cannot be thinking that you can just tear down a house and build the Taj Mahal in a level 1 or level 2 area. It's not going to work, you guys, because the whole rest of the area is still level 1 or level 2, no matter how nice that home is that you built. If it's not right, it's not going to work. The numbers tell the story. Steps 1 through 5 that we teach at the Residential Assisted Living Academy. Listen, step 5 is looking at homes. If you skip all 4 steps, you are an idiot. No, seriously. We have people on class who are just on Zillow, just going to step number 5. And I get it. That's the fun part. But if you don't even know if the location will work, why are you looking for a home there? Don't be dumb. Come on. We've had students, who didn't listen, who wanted to use a property that they already owned, but the location was all wrong and they could never get residents. And then they blamed us and got mad. But they didn't even do step 1, which is the second biggest mistake, not doing your research. It's going to come down to the demographics, but it's also the zoning, the rules in that area. You have to play the game. And to play the game, you have to learn the rules. There's no other way around it. When you start playing a new board game with a group of friends, can you imagine if no one told you the rules? You'd want to quit pretty, early on. It would be very frustrating. You would eventually give up. And research can save you on this. Know the rules so you can play the game properly. Right? Do you need fire suppression? How many residents can you have in this area? Do you need a certificate of need, a CON? Is there a moratorium? What other homes exist and where are they? What rates do they get? Are they full? Is this a growing market or a declining market? What do the numbers look like? How much is staff paid in this area? Is there a shortage of staff? Do all the other homes have live-in caregivers or staff? How long does the licensing process typically take in this area? All of these questions and more will be answered through you doing your research. You also need to know what's the history of this location. Do the other care homes thrive here? Are they building brand new ones all around? Or are they all failing in this area? All of your research and data will guide you in this decision making. The last one, and this cannot be understated, is thinking you can DIY this. Number 3, thinking you can do it all. I know we talk to a lot of other real estate investors, and in other types of real estates, you can kind of fumble your way through it and make mistakes and it'll turn out okay. You cannot do this in RAL. These are people's lives at stake. This is not just real estate. It is a business, and it's a serious business. It's healthcare. You must have the appropriate licensed people to work in the home And you really should consider hiring a coach or mentor who can help guide you on who to hire so that they don't mess up your business either. Find and pay for a team to support you through those tough times. Go for a coach who's been there. And look at two things. One, how many success stories of other people did they have under their belt? And how many people have they really helped get to where they are, right? Is it just something that they did, or have they helped others do this? Because it's one thing to be able to do it yourself. It's another to be able to pay it forward and teach others. And two, are they living the life you want? Are they financially free, spending time with their kids? Do they own their own homes? Are they aspirational to you? If not, do not follow their methods. That should be, going without needing to be said. You don't have to come to the REL Academy. Go wherever you want to learn. But please, I urge you to make sure that whoever you're going to go to, they have a lot of successful students and that they are where you want to be. When it comes to opening your residential assisted living home, there are a lot of mistakes that you want to avoid. And when it comes to opening your first home, I know that you can now avoid these three things. First, do not choose that wrong location. Second, do your research. You have to know the rules of the game. And third, don't try to DIY it. Find someone you trust to guide you through the process, and you'll be a lot better off, I promise you. Avoid those mistakes and reach out to us if you need help. Don't forget to like and share this episode and follow us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Thanks for listening to the Assisted Living Network.